Tomorrow is the day of my home. My home will be on sale tomorrow, and it will be up to you to spend the money to bring my home, home. And I need a home. Skeletor will not be homeless, you incompetent boobs. Spend the money, buy the Snake Mountain, and sit me upon my throne.
I am recording this video at 8 o'clock at night, which means by the time it posts, it'll be like around 9 or 10. I don't know. But tomorrow, and we're talking early tomorrow, 6 a.m. Pacific time, if I'm not mistaken, is going to be the Snake Mountain Masters of the Universe Origins line playset. I said that way ridiculously. Snake Mountain for the Origins line will launch tomorrow at 6 a.m. Pacific time. That is crazy. Finally, it is happening. Finally, we are getting Snake Mountain. I have been waiting for this. I even I almost bought Snake Mountain at 2 different conventions that I went to. 2 different toy shows. I almost bought it. And I kept saying to myself, don't do that. Don't do it, Bill. Just wait. And I was right to just wait, because it turns out that this is happening now. We are getting Snake Mountain. It is very real. I mean, we've all known it was going to be real for a while. We all saw the live cast where they showed off part of it and whatnot, and everybody's talked about it. But it's finally happening. Some people have already got theirs. I would have been happy to have got mine from Amazon. By the time I saw that the links were up, it was too late. I got on there. I tried to get one. They were sold out in terms of pre-orders for Amazon. They were either sold out or they were marked on hold. Possibly, maybe Amazon realized that people were getting to the link and shut it down or something. I don't know which one of these I am to believe. But I'm hearing that Entertainment Earth will be selling as early as 6 a.m. I imagine maybe that means Big Bad. I don't personally know. Maybe Amazon reopens up. And I know that Mattel Creations is doing it. So there are options out there. There is a chance you can get your hands on one of these. I don't know if there's going to be limits on these things, which is worrisome because this is really cool. And I don't want these things to sell out like crazy before I get a chance to get one. It's always a possibility, though. We know that. Good luck to everybody that goes after one. If you're viewing this video today, hopefully you got it, okay? This is awesome news. It is so cool to think that we are about to get Snake Mountain. I mean, it's really cool. I'm going to look at it. I haven't actually really dove into these pictures. I'm the kind of person where I hear about news coming. And then if I don't do it on this show, if I don't go in and look at the thing and kind of determine whether or not I want it, I normally won't look at it. Or if there's like a video game and I know that I'm going to get it, I will cut myself off from all information at that point because I already know that I'm going to buy it. Snake Mountain is one of those things that for the most part I've known that when they announce it, I will go get it. And so I've never actually looked too hard at any of these pictures besides a glance as I'm scrolling through something or whatnot. So I'm going to look at these pictures right now. So here I am, like normal, Mattel Creations, and I'm going to click right here. This is coming in tomorrow, and look at that thing. Okay, so I'm going to click this here. And yeah, that'll work. That's a good picture and everything for us. I'm down here on the side, so I don't got to worry too much about that. And yeah, looks like we can do this. Okay, so this way is how we're going to look at these pictures. This I'm liking quite a bit. If this is the color scheme I'm into this. I like this deep purple color. I like that because purple is pretty well accessorized with Skeletor. So this is really cool. I like the snake. Its mouth is open. It kind of looks statuesque, not like a living snake, which is good because the idea is supposed to be, especially if you follow like the 2000X stuff. The 2000X stuff actually showed us that the snake was actually alive. And so that's pretty cool. Like, I'm not sure I'm into the collar of the snake, but that collar does exist in the old Filmation thing. You did see it, so that's pretty cool. The only thing that would have made this cooler is if the snake was positioned in a way and had like something that you could connect, like a run. You know what I'm talking about? Like something that came off of the teeth. Like a running lava, because that's like a thing that I remember seeing a lot, where it was like kind of like the lava came out of the snake's mouth and everything. That would be really cool. Like, I'm really looking forward to being able to really dive in and look at the sculpt here. Right now it looks like rocks and vines and everything like that, but I wonder how much cool stuff is like hidden around this. Now, I've heard that this was originally meant to be a jungle playset, and then come to find out they needed to do the Snake Mountain or whatever. So like it was kind of converted and basically, oh yeah, this is Snake Mountain. And then so I've heard that that's part of what happened with this whole thing. And that's the reason that it's always kind of looked this way, that it's very much like the bridge and then a lot of like sets and whatnot, especially modern days, like the mega constructs and whatnot. It has like running lava or whatever. And so that's the reason for that. And it's the reason, like, up here we have the chains and whatnot. I've heard that that's all part of why it's like that. Then the vines down here for the little cave entrance area. And then up here, this is really cool. I'm really into this. Some of this, we'll get into it. So look, here's the inside, which I already flipped that picture, but regardless. So the inside, there used to be a speaker thing in this, from what I understand. That is not a thing now. But it's also not nearly as hollow as the original was. The original was like hollow. And I remember thinking a couple times when I seen it at toy shows and they would say like it's complete, and I would say there's no way. It can't be complete. It doesn't look like everything's there. It's just a big hollow box. That's the way it actually is. It is mostly just a hollow shell on the inside, and they went out of their way to make it more of an actual playset, which is, I gotta commend them on that. That's a good job. That's cool. I don't know how I feel about this rat wolf head looking thing. I think it's supposed to be a big wolf head. I don't know what I would make of that, in all honesty. I don't know what to think of that or why it's like that. I understand the snake. I don't necessarily understand the big wolf head thing. But then there's big wolf stuff going on all over this, because the doors are marked with the symbol of the wolf, and there's a wolf head thing there. So, yeah, I don't understand. Like, because the doors here, maybe, like I said, because this was originally the idea that it was going to be a jungle playset thing, and then they backtracked on that and turned it into Snake Mountain, from what I've heard. Maybe that's the reason that stuff is still there to this day. And because this is a reimagining of the retro line, we're not going to change that. We're not going to change that now. We'll add on to it and make things bigger and better, but we won't take away from what the original thing was, and I can understand that for what it's worth. So all the wolf stuff has to stay, even if personally I don't feel like it makes any real sense. This is really cool, though. Let's flip another page. So this is all going to be, like, interchangeable, too. I really like this idea that you can kind of move the stuff around. Nothing is necessarily set in stone, and I can understand that, and I can kind of get into that, too. Because, like, so back here, with all this, you got the wolf head cage, where the little dungeon, that's kind of like a transportable little dungeon thing. So it can go under this goldish area thing under here, or it could go under the entrance where you walk in and then there's maybe a trapdoor and you fall down into there. That's cool. That makes sense to me. It comes with a spider, two like critter things, like a dragon's head that's coming up out of this acid pool, if it's an acid pool, and like a weird grabby dude. It comes with a weapons rack, which is pretty cool, and the weapons look like they may be glow in the dark, so they may be meant for like the skeleton warrior guys. That's kind of cool if that's the idea. It comes with that ladder, but the big seller personally for me of all of this stuff that it comes with is the Bone Throne. Skeletor's Bone Throne is amazing. Maybe a slight nitpick. Why is the Bone Throne... Why are the two skulls at the bottom painted, but not the top, and the whole thing is made this bluish color? Personally, would it not have made sense to cast the whole thing in, like, off-white, like bone white, so that it could be like the Bone Throne? That part does. I'm a little confused at why they chose that color. I guess I won't complain. It's probably an easy repaint if I really want that. Yeah, this is what I mean about how it's going to be versatile. It's going to be move around stuff. So like we saw the first one, and then the second one, you can move all this stuff around, and then you move all this stuff back around. So you could put the Bone Throne right here, and it would look fine right there. It would make a lot of sense. It's got a spider thing up here for whatever reason. The prison goes down here after a guy falls into it from here. You could take that. Maybe the villains put it over there. It's cool that you got the options to move the stuff around and make it what you want it to be. Now from this side, if I had to complain about something, I would complain, because this is cool, the like monster guy and everything, that's cool. But like now when I look at it, I feel like it should be turned the other way on display wise, and mine probably will be. Because I'd rather honestly not have the face staring at me, but if I don't have it open on a display area, I would have it turned the other way so that the snake and the mountain, you know what I mean? And this is, I'd rather have the front part of the mountain, the more displayable piece, facing me, not the hollow back of that mountain piece. In fact, why they didn't close that up as two pieces that would have went together, I don't know why they didn't do that. I guess maybe because it would have caused an issue with the build. But this is the way I would display mine, personally, because I like the snake, and I'd like to position the snake and then have the mountain, the snake mountain. And this is more true to me than the other side with the big monster face, even though the monster face is kind of cool. That thing is big. Like, this is a big set. I mean, it really is. You can't deny. I mean, look at it. That's a big set, personally. It feels like it anyway. I imagine these chains are going to be made from a more rubbery material that's going to make them usable. Because I heard the old ones are super brittle and they break. And that shouldn't be a problem this time. This face part looks like it opens and closes. I don't know if there's a purpose to that, but it looks like it does. I didn't have one of these growing up. And like I said, I remember hearing that there's a microphone that used to be a part of this set that they've decided not to do. I'm fine with that. I've already done videos in the past where I've talked about play features as opposed to play effects, and I'm the kind of person that would prefer play effects. Those vines, that's a play effect. I like that. Those chains, that's a play effect. I like that. The slimy coat bridge area, that's a play effect. I like that more than an action feature per se. That's just the way that I am. It's the way that I've always viewed this kind of stuff. It's just is what it is. I've always preferred that idea of like giving my guy flames that I can put into the mouth so he breathes fire, rather than a squirt thing where I squirt it and then over the years like mold and whatnot grows in there because it didn't dry out properly or whatever. Who knows why, to be fair. But yeah, is that a bat maybe? Is it a wolf? Is it a bat? I don't know. Maybe it's a bat head. That would make a little sense to me. I gotta be honest, I'm a little turned here onto what that is. If it's an angry rat, if it's a wolf, if it's a bat head. This on the gate seems like it's a bat thing. Anyways, really cool. This is everything that it comes with, as far as I could tell. And I feel like I've pointed everything out. There's like monsters in here in the set. Like I could see like a face over on the side, and there's like something that's like looks like it's crawling out of the walls. This is really creepy, and that's cool because that's the aesthetic you want for something like Skeletor's home. Like, this is really cool. That is really, really cool. The images on here really sell it well because it looks like a menacing, terrible place. And that's what you want it to be. Looks like the colors are different from one thing to the other. Like when I'm looking at the pictures here, like now the slime bridge doesn't look as cool to me as it did a couple pictures ago. But maybe that all has to do with lighting. So we're looking at 26.92 inches, almost 27 inches tall. That's over 2 feet. That's impressive for what this is. That's big. Yeah, that looks fantastic. I like the mountain and the snake. That's the best part of it for me. And maybe I'll display it like that, where it's a full set. And if I finish what I'm wanting to do, where I move all the books down from back under there, if I move those out of there and then I get them put up correctly on the bookshelf down there, maybe I'll have this as an open set and I'll put my figures on it and display it that way, because it's pretty cool. This is all really good. Oh no, it's not cage bars, because that's where the little prison thing is. So when the prison thing is in place down there, you can't climb in through this secret passage or whatever. Maybe that's when it's closed. You can't climb in through the passage or whatever because the gate would be there. And then when it's not like that, when it's open or whatever, you could climb through that. You could push a figure through that and whatnot and climb through the swampy area. I'm wondering how much the snake moves, because it looks like a fairly solid piece, but it must have a decent range of movement, because sometimes it looks like it's way low, sometimes it looks like it's high, and maybe it only moves like this, but maybe that's just enough to really create the effect that you want, depending on what you're going for or something like that. Yeah, I prefer the snake to be high like that. That's what I want. This is all really cool. It's all really solid. I think we're moving back around to basically reuses of pictures that no longer have the imaging thing. So that's the background is what I'm talking. Fantastic. Fantastic. I am sold on this set. I mean, I already knew that I, for the most part, definitely was. But yeah. The only real kicker now is whether or not I'll be able to get it. I'm going to set my phone up for it. If this thing sells out ridiculously fast, I could be in trouble, because I have very, 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 very poor signal where I work. I work in a gigantic metal shack with concrete everywhere. Signal is terrible in there. I barely got He Skeletor. I mean, it was a barely thing. It like knocked me out of the room twice due to faulty signal. And then when I finally got in there and got it, I was really worried, because I was I was the farthest behind that I'd ever been. My entire lunch period went by the time I finally got one. And a lot of these, sometimes they sell out in minutes. Sometimes they last for hours and you got a real good chance at them. But some of these, they go in minutes, and you never know exactly what one is going to dip off in a matter of minutes, and that can be scary. That can legit be scary as to whether or not you're actually going to get this. Now, this says that it'll ship on or before October 27th, 2023. It'll launch April 28th, depending on when you see this video. That could be today. Maybe you've already had your chance to get one. Maybe you got one. Maybe you didn't. Tell me. This says the Masters of the Universe Origin playset is inspired by Snake Mountain Lair in the Dark Hemisphere of Eternia. It was created as an homage to the 80s, but with bigger and better modern design. I could attest to that, because I personally think the new Origins Castle Grayskull, I think it's better than the original one. I honestly do. I think it's painted better, looks better, it's a little bit bigger. I like it. I like it more. And I have both of them. I just don't have nostalgia tied to the property the way some other people do. So sometimes something new for me is better. Sometimes something older for me is better. It's very much on a design perspective and whether or not it really grabs my attention. A huge snake dominates the top of the playset that also features a trapdoor, Dungeon Skeletor throne, which I feel should have been white, but that's okay. Acid pool, so that is acid. It's not a swamp. It's straight up go in there and die, I guess, unless you're He-Man, because then it really doesn't matter. You're impervious to basically everything. And escape tunnel. That must be the red vine things. The playset is made for 5.5 inch, basically 6 inch action figures, because it's a 5.5 scale action figure line is Origins anyway. Epic display, colors, decorations may vary. That's maybe they just have to say that, because you imagine that each one would be painted for the most part the same way. Motu Origins Snake Mountain playset from the Dark Side of Eternia, created as an homage to the 80s with modern twists and surprises. The front of the playset features a wolf head, so it is a wolf head, that spins to an opening gate. Okay, so maybe turning it does something then? Okay, is that what the mouth is? Is that maybe you turn the head and then the mouth thing opens? I don't know. I don't know what that's about. Snake on top can pick up any Origins figure in its mouth or knock it off the platform. Each figure is sold separately. So the snake moves well enough and is big enough to grab a hold of an Origins figure and kind of like snap at them as it goes towards the gate. So that's kind of like a play feature that would have been real cool if I was still young enough to really sit around and play He-Man, I guess. But it is cool. It's cool to even know that the feature is there like that. It's cool to just be a big kid. And who knows, I might play with it for a little while before I put it away and basically sits on my shelf forever. As a figure moves up the stairs and through the upper gate, bam, it will drop through the trap door and into the cage that can then be moved to the dungeon underneath Skeletor's throne for safekeeping. And then he could sit up there and be like, and while the guy's like, "You're going to let me out of here," and he's like, "You're going to shut up, you boob!" To get to the throne, figures must pass by the wolf head and intimidating spider. To get out, watch out for the acid pool on the way to the hidden escape tunnel, which it looked like the acid pool covers the entire bottom, so I don't know. I guess Stratos could fly over to, I don't understand how many people could survive an acid pool. But yeah. Awesome. They kept this thing at $80 too, by the way, which that kind of floors me, because I'm noticing that prices, of course, have gone up for everything. Everything, literally. All the figures have gone up, even if it's not by much, even if it's $1 or $2, $3 or $4 here and there. It's still enough that it makes a legit change to our pocketbooks, and it makes us really have to pick and choose where we're going. This is rated at $80. That puts it on the exact same pay scale as getting a Castle Grayskull. I'm personally cool with that. 80 for Grayskull, 80 for Snake Mountain. They go together. That's 160. Big playset. And it is a big playset if you put the two of them together. I personally have talked about what I plan to do. I'm going to buy or utilize one of the tables that I have and make a display type of thing. It is my intention, hopefully, to put Grayskull on one side, to put Snake Mountain on the other side, and Eternia in the middle, and set it up and make it this big, cool thing. I don't know how I'm going to go about doing that. It may very well turn into a full year project as I get everything laid out, and maybe I make the platform myself once I get it all set out, and maybe I'll decide to just have a piece of wood cut to the exact specific sizes that I need, and then I'll build on, get rock formations and whatnot. I don't know. I hope to turn this into an actual thing that once I have the 3 play sets, I do something with them that is for more permanent display. Because I really like this. I really think it's cool. I really think it'll be a fantastic thing. I don't know where I'll put it. I'll be honest. No clue. No clue at all. But I'll figure it out. You better believe I'll figure it out. Anyways, guys, if you're seeing this video tomorrow and you got one, tell me about it. If you didn't, go ahead and tell me about it. If you didn't care, tell me about it. If you love the idea, tell me about it. Tell me about it. Good, bad, whatever. Look, we all like what we like, and some people are very much going to be under the impression, I've already got one. It's my childhood one. I like the microphone. If it doesn't have the microphone, I'm not interested. I feel like the original paint job was better. Vintage all the way. Go vintage. Look, everybody has their own pull, their own idea. All of this relates to them in different ways. It doesn't make you right. It doesn't make me right. This is just something we're into. This is my chance at a Snake Mountain. I feel like this one is fantastic. It's the one I want. Maybe for you, there's a nostalgia there. Maybe there's a power in the soul of your old toys. And that's viable. That's 100% realistic. We all collect for different reasons. Be it there's a reason you didn't want this, there's a reason you did want this, whatever. All of this stuff speaks to us in different ways. It's just collection, guys. It's just collecting. It's collection at its finest. And everything we get, everything we put together is just another piece of our museum. It all says something about us. This says something about me. Yours says something about you. And we're all different here. The only key trigger here for the whole thing is that, just like I said last time, guys, and maybe I'll start saying this as a thing, I hope you get what you want out of your collection. And you should hope that I get what I want out of my collection, because really, we are all about this together. Toys, collecting, fun, fandom. Let's keep it like that, really, because I'm personally about the community at large. I want you to get what you want. I do. Because, I do. Why am I going to cry about it? You know what I mean? I don't get it. We're all going to have our own opinions. I can't wait to get this thing. Tell me about it. Talk to me. I'll try to respond to as many comments as I possibly can. I'm usually pretty good about that, to be fair. But for what it's worth, Snake Mountain, finally here. This is fantastic. Now I've got to figure out what figures are going in Snake Mountain. Because I've also got to figure out what figures I'm going to populate Grayskull with on the normal once I display these things, once I move the comic books out and move the play sets in. Anyways, guys, that's all. I'm crossing my fingers here big time that I get one of these. I hope you get one later on. Or got one, to be fair. Either way, right? We all love Dumbface Skeletor. That's all that really matters, is that we all love Dumbface Skeletor. Later on.
I have spoken. Take what you will from it.